Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of digital real estate. Last time we left you with a challenge. If you had to pick just one domain name to invest in today, what would it be? Really gets you thinking, doesn't it?
It does. It highlights the fact that it's not just about grabbing any random name.
Right.
There's real strategy involved.
Yeah, it's about spotting trends, finding those opportunities and building a website that people actually want to visit
Exactly.
and that businesses will actually want to pay to be a part of.
Yeah, speaking of strategy, let's jump back into Willie Crawford's rank and rent method.
Okay.
He makes it sound pretty straightforward.
Right.
But I'm sure there's more to it than just throwing up a website and hoping for the best.
Yeah, so walk us through it. Where do you even begin with this rank and rent approach?
Well, it all starts with picking the right domain name,
Okay.
which is where a tool like Name Snagger can be so helpful.
Right.
Remember, it's like having a digital treasure map.
Those forgotten gems.
Exactly, leading you to those potentially valuable domains that have expired.
Okay, but even with a great domain name, you need to build a website that's actually worth renting out.
Right.
And that's where Willie's expertise comes in. He's all about creating what he calls lead generation websites.
He is.
So remind us how that works. Let's stick with our example from earlier plumbing services in Chicago.
Perfect. So imagine you have a domain name like chicagoplumbingexperts.com.
Oh, yeah.
You build a website packed with useful information about plumbing in Chicago.
Okay.
Maybe list local plumbers offer troubleshooting tips for common issues.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe start a blog with DIY advice.
So you're like that ultimate resource
Exactly.
for anyone in Chicago who's having a plumbing problem.
And as people visit your website, you can capture their information,
Okay.
maybe through a contact form or a newsletter sign up.
And then you provide those leads to local plumbing businesses who are looking for new customers.
Exactly.
This is brilliant.
It's a clever system. You're connecting businesses with their target audience.
Right.
And that's where the rent part comes in.
Okay.
You charge those plumbing businesses a monthly fee for access to those leads that you're generating.
It's a win-win.
Yes, everybody wins.
The businesses get customers, you get a steady stream of income.
That's right.
But it's not just about attracting visitors, right? You have to make sure your website actually shows up high enough in search results so people can find it.
Right. That's where SEO comes in.
SEO.
SEO or search engine optimization.
Okay.
It's all about making your website attractive to search engines like Google.
Right.
It's a whole science.
Mm-hmm.
But the basics are you're optimizing your website and its content so that Google understands what your website is about.
Okay, so it's not just about having a pretty website.
Right.
It's about making sure Google sees it as valuable.
Exactly.
That sounds complicated.
Well, there are a lot of factors involved.
Yeah.
Researching the right keywords to use, making sure your website is structured the way Google likes.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget about the technical side, making sure your website's code is clean and efficient.
Okay, so that's a lot to learn. Luckily, Willie's training program goes into detail on how to do all of this.
He does, and he breaks down those complex concepts into actionable steps that anyone can follow, even beginners. And he even offers the option to have his team handle the SEO for you,
Okay.
if you prefer a more hands-off approach.
Yeah, because that does sound like a full-time job.
It can be.
Even with a perfectly optimized website, isn't there just a ton of competition out there?
Yeah, that's a good question, and it really comes down to choosing the right niche.
Okay.
Willie emphasizes focusing on local businesses
Okay.
or services that might not have the resources or expertise to really market themselves online.
So instead of trying to compete with these big, massive companies, you're targeting smaller businesses.
Right, exactly.
Who need the help.
These businesses need customers, but they might not be showing up high enough in search results to get them.
And that's where you come in.
That's where you come in.
You're providing that solution with your lead generation website.
Exactly.
This is making so much sense now.
It's a smart strategy, but let's talk numbers.
Okay.
How much can someone actually expect to earn from renting out these websites?
Yeah, get to the good stuff. Is there a magic number?
I wish it were that simple. It really depends
Yeah.
on a lot of factors: the niche, the location, the quality of the website, how effectively you're driving traffic to it.
Okay, so there's no get-rich-quick scheme here.
No,
But what kind of ballpark figures are we talking?
Well, Willie says he's seen websites rent for anywhere from a few $100s a month to several $1,000s a month.
Wow, that's quite a range.
It is. But even if you're talking about a few $100s a month per website, that can add up pretty quickly.
Right, and it's recurring income.
Exactly. As long as you're providing value to those businesses and generating those leads, they're going to stick around.
It's like a digital ATM.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's the possibility of selling these websites down the line.
Right, for a profit.
For a profit. Remember, those investors are willing to pay 40 to 50 times the monthly income for a website with a proven track record.
So if your website is bringing in, let's say, $500 a month,
You could potentially sell that website for $20,000, $25,000.
that's amazing. Okay, so we've covered a lot. Lead generation websites, SEO, picking the right niche potential earnings. It's a lot.
That's a lot to take in.
But let's be realistic. Are there any downsides or challenges to this model?
Yeah, that's a really important question. And while this rank and rent model can be incredibly lucrative, it's not without its potential pitfalls.
Okay.
One of the biggest challenges is staying on top of the ever-changing world of SEO.
Yeah, because Google's always changing things.
Google's algorithms are constantly evolving, so what works today might not work tomorrow.
So it's not like set it and forget it.
You have to constantly adapt
Right.
and learn new things.
Okay, so it takes more than just technical skills. It
Yeah.
takes dedication and a willingness to keep learning.
Definitely.
What other challenges are there?
Well, another hurdle can be finding and securing reliable clients.
Okay.
You need to be comfortable putting yourself out there,
Yeah.
building relationships with businesses, and convincing them that your services are worth their investment.
So you're not just building websites. You're kind of like a salesperson, too.
You're a salesperson and a relationship builder.
Okay, so there's a sales and marketing aspect to this whole thing. Anything else?
Well, it's important to remember that this takes time and effort.
Okay.
You're not going to start raking in thousands of dollars overnight.
Right.
It takes time to build those high-quality websites, get them ranked in search engines, and attract those paying clients.
Patience is key.
Patience is key.
But for those who are willing to put in the work,
The rewards can be significant.
I love that it's not a get-rich-quick scheme,
No,
but a solid business model
it is.
that can create lasting income.
It can.
This has been so insightful. We really got into it with Willie Crawford's rank and rent strategy. But before we move on, I want to circle back to the human element of all of this.
Yeah, because behind every successful business model, there are real people.
Yeah, with their own stories and journeys.
Exactly. And I'm really impressed by Willie's willingness to share his knowledge and experience.
Me too.
He could easily keep all of this to himself,
Right.
but he's actively helping others find success in this field.
It's amazing he's created this whole ecosystem of resources and support.
Yes.
Whether you want to dive in headfirst and build your own websites or
Yeah.
take more of a hands-off approach,
It's pretty incredible.
he's not just selling a course, he wants others to succeed.
That's what makes his story so inspiring.
Yeah.
He took a simple domain name and turned it into this thriving online business,
Right.
and now he's empowering others to do the same.
Okay, so as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought to ponder.
Okay.
If Willie Crawford could go back in time and give his younger self one piece of advice about domain name and website investing, what do you think he would say?
That's a great question. I think his advice would be something along the lines of, just go for it, you know?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to jump in and experiment.
Yeah.
The world of digital real estate is constantly evolving.
Uh-huh.
There's always something new to learn. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Just start exploring, testing, and refining your approach.
I love that advice. It's about taking action
Yeah.
and being willing to learn as you go.
Exactly.
And Willie's story is a perfect example of that. He didn't have all the answers when he started.
Nope.
He just took that first step and figured things out along the way.
That's what makes this whole rank and rent model so appealing.
Yeah.
It's not about being a tech genius or having a ton of money to invest.
Right.
It's about being resourceful, creative,
Uh-huh.
and willing to put in the effort.
It's about seeing those opportunities that other people might miss and having the confidence to pursue them.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to think that it all starts with a simple domain name.
It is.
It really is like owning a piece of virtual real estate
It is.
that you can build on and cultivate.
And speaking of resources, we got to mention that incredible website hosting deal that Willie shared.
Yeah, up to 999 websites for $47 a month.
And with that 50% off discount for our listeners,
I know.
it's practically a gift.
It removes so many barriers to entry
It does.
and makes this whole model even more accessible.
For sure.
It shows that Willie's not just interested in making money.
Right.
He wants to empower others to find success in this field.
That's what makes this deep dive so inspiring. It's not just about the technical side of domain names and websites.
Yeah.
It's about the human stories behind them,
Uh-huh.
the entrepreneurial spirit, and the potential for creating a truly sustainable income stream.
Absolutely. And it's about challenging those traditional notions of what investing looks like and showing that there are alternative paths to building wealth.
Exactly. And it all starts with that one question.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one domain name to invest in today, what would it be?
What's your vision? What problem are you solving?
That's the question we want to leave our listeners with today.
Yes. What sparks your curiosity? What gets those entrepreneurial gears turning?
Yeah.
Maybe this deep dive has planted a seed, ignited a passion,
Oh,
or giving you the confidence to take that first step into this world of digital real estate.
we hope so. The world of digital real estate is vast and constantly evolving.
Yeah.
There are endless possibilities for those who are willing to explore, experiment, and learn.
So listeners, keep those questions coming. Keep exploring.
Keep learning.
Keep learning, and most importantly, keep taking action. Who knows what amazing opportunities await you in this exciting world of digital real estate?
We can't wait to see what you create.
Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of domain name and website investing. Until next time, keep diving deep, and we'll see you on our next adventure.